meant. Did you stop and start the camera?
I didn't stop it, but I restarted it.
Well, it may have stopped because it got to the end of my storage capacity. We'll see.
It indicates it's still running.
Okay, good. Okay. More of that dark copper in there. That gave me something I really liked on the last pour, or the one that there's not the last pour, but the one that I'm trying to reproduce. Okay, and then here's an orange. This is a metallic orange. When this dries, it gives the hint of dragon scales. Okay. Oh, that's right. And some blue, the metallic blue. And I'm pouring it so that the paint goes through the other paint that's already there, and that mixes it some just with that. Here's this deep maroon. And I'm getting just about to capacity. So here's a little more metallic. This one is a light copper, I would call it. And a dark bronze. Oh, red metallic. Okay, I think that's about sufficient. You can see into the container there, what it looks like there, and I'm going to try a ribbon pour that's just put out, or I guess you'd call it a dirty pour, but I'm doing it out in a swirl like this. So you can see as the paint is coming out in lines, it's making lines that will be part of the painting. Depending on how much I tilt it, the more I tilt it, the more distorted the lines will become. Now we're getting into my fluorescent yellow. And there's the pearl white coming out now. Okay, I'm going to leave a little, well, I didn't leave much. I was going to say I was going to leave a little bit in the cup in case I need some more. And now, if I just start tilting this around on the canvas, which is actually a board, a lot of the color will adhere and end up on the bottom of the painting. So I'm going to pour some white out on here, which gives the color something to slide on, and will preserve more of the color. Okay, and because it's always a little bit more difficult to stretch it to the corners, I'm going to add some in there. Okay, and I've got a spatula. Here it is. This was from Walmart, and they sell it as a cake server, but it makes a pretty good spatula for spreading your paint around on here. You want to have the surface nice and wet. Kind of left that in my way. Now you can see I dipped into some of the color there. That's one of the techniques that you can use, and I may do that. I may swipe over it with the spatula before we're done here. We'll see how much I like it as it's expanding and spreading out. So now I will begin to tilt it, and this causes the colors to run in the direction of gravity. Now I'm going to balance that tilt, kind of bring it back to the center. Now I'll try going over to this other corner. Bring it back. Okay, get close to the edge, back towards the center. And this time I'm going to let it go over the edge. There we go. Now we'll head back in the other direction. Yeah, I'm not thrilled with the look of the rings on here. So I'm thinking, unless that changes soon, I'm going to be doing some swiping. Okay. You might be able to hear the paint going pitter-patter as it hits the plastic. You're not going to be able to see that very well. Paper towel, wipe off my fingers. I have some plastic gloves to wear when I do this, but I didn't think to put them on, and it's pretty easy to wipe that paint off anyway. Or to wash it off, I mean. Okay, so now we're going to try a swipe. I'm not sure how much I prefer that. I'm going to try the torch here. The torch, now I didn't add much silicone to this. It had some in some of the paint. The torch pops any little bubbles, and if you have silicone in there, it brings it up to the surface, which creates what we call cells and causes it to separate and divide apart. And I'm leaning towards trying some Rain-X on this. This will cause a lot more cells to pop out usually. Not a huge amount up there, a little bit in here. And I'm not thrilled with how that white is poking through over there. Oh, that's kind of nice. Got some lacing going on there. That may be from the silicone. Well, I'm going to try tilting it around a little more and see what that brings. Cup fell over here. There we go. I'm not that happy with this area right here. It just looks a little, I don't know, unrefined to me. So I'm going to pour some white on here. And then pour it off. There we go. leave a little bit of negative space. And I think I'm going to do that with this too. I found that acrylic house paint works just fine, and I highly recommend using that because it's cheaper than art paint. And I end up going through a lot of it, especially when I use it to kind of create negative space like this and adjust what I had gotten from the original pour. Letting that flow off the edge there. Okay. Well, I'm tempted to see what a little rain X at this point will do. Not a lot. Other times it has really done a lot more. Hit it with a little bit of rain X and the colors just pop out of there. But I guess that's based on other colors being underneath, and these didn't perhaps get as mixed up because of the way that I poured it. I don't know. I'm going, am I really happy with that color combination, the way that that is laid out there? And I'm not sure that I am, so I'm going to try swiping it some more. We'll see what comes of it. You don't want to do this too much or it'll get muddy, like the colors mix together and become undistinct. Boy, that's a beautiful little area right there. It right in there, yeah. Dragon scales. Okay, let's let it flow some more. See what we get. I'm letting that white flow on off of the corner there. I've been, a lot of my pours lately, I've been going for the negative space like that. And I guess I'm a little bit bored with it at the moment. Okay. This is doing a kind of interesting mix here between the metallics and the white. I don't know. And it does develop as time passes. Like what was rather mixed up looking there is separating a little bit. We're getting a little bit more cells and variations of color showing through. I'm going to try a little more Rain X. See what happens. Yeah, it's just not doing a lot in there. But it is. We've actually got some very nice subtle colors in here. The blending of the maroon and the orange. The yellow mixes with the metallic blue and creates kind of an iridescent green. A lot of my darker bronze copper metallics got mixed in and they're not so distinct now. I think I'm going to do a little bit more here, see if I can get some wispy tails flowing off. Oh, and I can turn this around here so that we'll still be able to see it on the camera. Okay, that kind of did what I want. It's a good idea to not have too specific an idea of exactly what you're aiming for, because it's probably never going to turn out exactly like you were thinking. Okay, I suppose that's sufficient. You might try making a slow sweeping aerial over it so that you get closer and see some of the detail in there. I'm going to go wash my hands. In a sense, a pour like this is kind of an artifact of a particular moment in time, and you're probably not going to be very successful at ever reproducing a particular painting. Each one has its own flow at the moment. Overall, though, I'm very happy with the colors. I like this combination quite a bit. Okay. Well, thanks for joining me, and hope you like it. Okay. Bye bye.